What's up, wavy gang? Back on the video, and today I literally said I was gonna stop doing that. And today, as you saw by the title, yes, I will be talking about why the trio broke up. And you guys are probably wondering, like, oh, how did you guys stop being best friends and you guys just became best friends? It's not mine and Kevin's fault. I just want to let you guys know that, but I will be showing you guys all the receipts and everything to let you guys know and fill you guys in on what happened. It was gonna be a mukbang video and I was gonna order some food. I was gonna do a Dunkin' Donuts mukbang and order a whole bunch of stuff and stuff, but I didn't because I was not about to order food because I have TikToks and stuff to film, so I had to hurry up. But as you see, like, I got my hair done, like, inchies on inchy. My sister definitely stepped on my hair. This is her Instagram. And this is her Snapchat, so if you want to go follow her or you want to go text her, if you want to get your hair done, anything for a cheap price, she can definitely do it for you guys today, tomorrow, next week, next month, whenever you guys want to get it done. But let me get right into the video because you guys have been waiting for this. You guys have been seeing on social media that I've been posting Kevin a lot more, saying what happened to the other boy. You guys don't even know his name. But I'm here to clarify everything today. But my social medias will be linked down in the description down below. As always, if you're willing to contact me because I respond to my fans. And make sure you hit that subscribe button and also the post notifications bell to be notified when I drop another video. And also make sure you drop a like and a comment what you want to see me do next in the future. But other than that nonsense and that whole long intro, let's just get right into the video. So the beginning. Everything started off with the video of me and Kevin. If you guys don't know the video of me and Kevin, I'm not going to post it due to everybody knows the reason. They already went through their pain and stuff. I'm not going to post that video once again. But if you know, in CT or other states, if you guys watch me, I made this video making this video of exposing DL boys that were homophobic, that were sitting here talking about our dad, using us for money, Ubers, and all this stuff. It's a long story, whatever. So after that, me, Kevin, Martez, Catherine, Jade all made a group chat. We were just talking about the situation, what was going on, because there's a whole bunch of drama. So then that's when me, Kevin, and Martez started FaceTiming. We FaceTimed the day after, and then we FaceTimed the day after, and so forth, and we just became closer as friends. So then, you know, becoming closer as friends, you know, we just talked a lot more because we all were gay, we all had a lot in common, but, you know, Martez was always the, like, straight boy aesthetic look. He always had that sweaters, hoodies, and sweatpants. Me and Kevin did crop tops and stuff, so he fit in, but it was just kind of like more of like me and Kevin clicked more. And mind you, before the video, me and Kevin clicked a lot more because we were friends before the whole video. That's why we made the video together. So then Martez, I wouldn't really say forced, I would say strongly influenced us to become his best friend. Why I say this is because it was a duo before it was a trio. So about after a week or so, me, Martez, and Kevin will always sit there on FaceTime. We would fall asleep on the phone with each other, just as just as friends or whatever. So then Martez would start saying like, oh, we should make this video of each other. And we only, mind you, we only got like screenshots or screen recording. And so it's like on FaceTime. So we really never even saw each other at this point. I saw Kevin, but I never saw I saw Martez before, but I never seen Martez as a trio. So he was like, oh, we should make this video of like the mom of the group, the dumb one of the group and stuff. And we're just sitting there like, we can't even make that video because what are you gonna do? Like post a live photo? Like, oh, look at my biddy in the camera. Like, no, like what he's talking about, like I miss y'all, this and that. Like, what do you miss? The Wi-Fi connection? Like, I'm not getting it. It's really not giving friendship. It's not giving best friends. So I was like, just wait. So that's when, you know, weeks go by. So it was probably about 2 weeks, whatever. So 2 weeks is when we became best friends because me and Karen were like joking around when we were like, oh, like you're our bestie, this and that. Ooh, my hair. We were like, you're our bestie, this and that, whatever. So we were just playing at first, but then it became actually into like a best friend kind of thing. But me and Kevin were always like FaceTime and stuff. We would be like, oh, it seems like it's kind of forced on, you know. It would have been better if we waited a little longer because me and Kevin were friends for the whole summer and we were friends a little bit before that. But we've always been friends for like we've been friends for like almost like a year and a half because we just were always on and off because we know we do our own thing, so we really weren't paying attention to each other. So, you know, me and Kevin always been friends, but we've been on and off, and we became best friends in the summer, like at the end of the summer, like August or like end of July, whatever. So it was like midsummer or end of summer, like that. Around that time, we became best friends, me and Kevin. So me and Kevin he would call me like, oh, you know, it feels like it's just a forcing thing. I don't want Martez to feel bad because, you know, it feels like he's forcing himself into the duo and it's gonna break up some way somehow. So let's just fast forward. You know, that's what Kevin would tell me on the phone and stuff, and like I'll be like, yeah, it just doesn't seem like it. I would like, you know, let's just go along with it. Let's just try to just bring him into the group and just try to be friendly and stuff. And like me and Kevin are really good people, you know, we're friendly and stuff and whatever. So Martez has messed up multiple times in this friendship, and I'm going to explain every single time and why we thought it was wrong. So one of the first situations that kind of made us look at Martez kind of iffy was when he threatened Kevin. It wasn't, I'm not going to say it in chronological order, which I'm not going to say what happened first, what happened second, what happened third, what happened fourth, but I'm just going to say all the events that led up to this. So the first one was when he kind of threatened Kevin. So it was on his birthday, you know, he was going through some stress with his parents, whatever, and some other stuff on social media. He was just feeling bad about himself that day. So I guess he was arguing whatever with some people. I don't know. Something happened. I don't know. So then that's when, you know, me, Kevin, and Martez, we tightened Martez up completely. Like, me and Kevin would always rank on each other. Like, Kevin was like, that's why your wig had that big ass part. Looking like the Sahara Desert and stuff. I was like, I don't care. And I was just sitting there like, Kevin, that's why you do this, this, and I'm not about to say what I said, because at the end of the day, that's about Kevin. That's minding Kevin's business, but I'm saying this and that, like, that's why I was saying whatever. So, like, you know, we would always rank on each other just as fun. It was nothing serious. And we tightened Martez up to that point, like, oh, Martez, like, you have to realize that we just joke around like that. It's not nothing serious. So we just came for him. So Martez and Kevin, you know, they were like arguing, fake arguing, just coming for each other, whatever, eating each other up. So then that's when it started kind of getting serious, and then Martez was sitting there like, oh, that's word of my dead sister that I'll definitely beat the out of you. Gotta definitely censor it. He was like, I'll beat the out of you. So I was like, Kevin was like, oh, like, that's the word of my brother that you're not. Like, I'm not about to sit here and take disrespect. So it's like making it seem like, and then Martez wants to sit here and say, oh, you were being serious? Like, of course he was being serious, because you sit here and put it on your dead brother. Like, what do you expect him to do? Like, just be like, no, that's weird. Like, he was like, oh, I was just having a bad day. Like, no, please forgive me. Like, at the end of the day, you still don't, if you're having a bad day, you still don't do that to the people that actually care about you. That's just what you don't do, period. That's just so disrespectful when you sat here and put it on your dead sister. He put it on his dead sister, not dead brother. I'm sorry, I apologize about that. He put it on his dead sister, and it's just like disrespectful. Like, you said, we're supposed to be your best friends. We let you into the group. Even after I had problems with Martez, if you guys don't know that video, it's a while back. You can go back on my channel. It's why I was about to fight Martez, whatever. This and that. I was about to fight Martez, and even after that, you still are disrespecting my best friend in front of me. And I was just sitting there like, I'm not about to get involved in it, because at the end of the day, we're all best friends. So I'm just like, I'm not about to pick and choose sides to make it seem like I'm favoritizing anybody, even though, you know, I love Kevin endlessly. But I just, at the time, I didn't want to make nobody feel like bad, or I didn't want anybody to feel bad. So that was the first kind of situation that kind of like let off, whatever. But a couple days go past, whatever, and it wasn't nothing serious. So I'm gonna explain the second situation with this boy named Manny. And if you guys don't know, I made videos about all this. I made a video about this boy named Manny, and I was about to fight him. I was about to fight Manny, because all these gay boys just be trying it, but I love Manny with my whole heart. I love you, Manny. Shout out to you. You know I love you, and that's on period. But I was gonna fight Manny because of a situation with Javon and stuff. Now, I'm no longer friends with Javon, so that's not even a worry. I'm friends with Manny, but I used to flirt with Manny back in March. Around that time, it was at the beginning of the coronavirus pandemic. So then that's when I put him onto Kevin. So I put Manny onto Kevin. I was like, oh, you guys would be cute together. I really don't mind. So you guys could try to talk and see how things go. So then that's when, you know, Manny and Kevin will flirt, whatever, this and that, da-da-da. So then that's when I guess Martez held in that. So we were all on FaceTime. Me, Martez, Manny, and Kevin. You know, Kevin and Manny are kind of flirting. You know, they're kind of doing that little flirt thing. You already know what it is, whatever, this and that. They were doing this little flirt thing. So that's when, you know, Kevin went to go wrap up his hair and wash his face and stuff and whatever. And that's when it was just me, Martez, and Manny in the call. Well, Kevin was still in the call, but he was just left. It was just us three together right there. So that's when Manny and Martez are talking. I wasn't really thinking nothing of it, and it was because of a private story. So, like, you know, it's still kind of weird, like, if someone used to talk to someone, and mind you, I'm gonna get to it, actually. So, you know, Martez was like, oh, they were talking about something about private story, and then Martez was like, oh, I'm not in your private story. And mind you, like, that's just weird. If that's someone Kevin used to talk to, like, why do you want to be in his business? Why do you want to be in his private story? It's just not really giving. So, that's just when Kevin hangs up, because he was actually in the room, because he came back just in time to hear that. He hung up and called me. So then that's when we were talking to each other or whatever, and we're just like, that's kind of weird or whatever. So then Martez tells us a few days later, or he tells us later or something, I forgot which one or 2 days later, or that same day, but just later. So he told us later or whatever, and he was like, oh, I used to have something with Manny back in, and no, Martez was saying on the phone, he was first saying like, oh, I would never do that to you, I don't even really know the boy, like this and that. He was saying all this, so it was making it seem like, oh, you don't really know him. It's okay, they weren't flirting, so that's why we got over it. But then he wants to sit here and say probably a few days later, like, oh, I just want to let you guys know that I did used to talk to Manny back in March, or not back in March, but back in like the summer or whatever, flirting with him and stuff. So I was like, okay, now it makes it seem like you were actually flirting with him, and that, but now it makes it seem like you did me something about the private story, and then because you also lied about it. And he was sitting there saying, oh, I didn't want to lose our friendship, this and that, da da da. I was like, okay, back in the day, you know, me and Kevin, we don't care about these boys. We sit here like, if I mess with a boy, okay, girl, go ahead and mess with him. If you want to go play him too, you can go play him, because I don't care about these boys. I really don't. I'm worried about money, period. And Martez already knows that about me and Kevin. We don't really argue about over boys. We don't really fight over boys. It doesn't really matter who you got. If you just ask, or just let us know, not even ask, just let us know, like, hey, you know, this is, I kind of like this boy, I kind of flirt with this boy. And mind you, Martez always wants to be in a relationship, so he's desperate for a boy, like desperate. Like after, like, mind you, when he was flirting with Manny, like when he was talking to Manny, whatever, when we didn't care, it was like 2 days after he posted on his private story, he was like, I love you. I was like, I love you. I was like, what are you talking about, boy? Take a seat. Like, come on. Like, this is not Romeo and Juliet. Like, please pack it up. Like, please pack it up. So I was just telling him, like, you look ridiculous. It looks like you were kind of just doing some sneaky stuff behind our back, and that's just not cute. And mind you, we just had to talk about it, like, because me and Kevin, like I said, we don't argue over no boy. So we were just sitting here saying, like, you know, like, just let us know beforehand, and then we just got over that situation. So now this is the situation that, no, there's another situation. He just messed up plenty of times. So this is his second time already. So then one of the boys inside of the video, it's this boy named Lennox. His name is Lenny. I'm not gonna put his social media up because I'm not about to give nobody no free club, period. So there's this boy named Lenny. His name is Lennox, and he used to mess with, he didn't used to mess with me, but we used to flirt. He still says that it was from this other girl, but I already know what it was. Like, I already have all the messages stuff on my phone. I don't need to keep going on to prove something that I already know is true. So basically what happened was, me, Martez, and Kevin were, and my sister Jada, the one that did these butterfly locks, we were at around the world together, and Lennox slid up on mine and Kevin's post that Martez posted Kevin, and he slid up on Kevin's post and was like, oh, LMFAO, or something like LMFAO, or said something slick. So then what I'm saying is that he honestly feels obligated or feels comfortable talking to you around you to you, like saying like, oh, LMFAO, this and that, laughing at us. So there must be some conversation going on. So, but mind you, Martez did tell us, he did tell us that, like, oh, he's still talking to Lenny, just trying to see what he would say, if he likes it and stuff, like, but I already told you that he is little kind of DL. Like, Martez is telling us, like, oh, Manny said he would have a relationship with me, this and that. Martez is telling us this. So, like, I was like, okay, like, I already know he's low-key, like, whatever, like, but at the end of the day, I already did it, so like, what are you really trying to prove? Like, at the end of the day, you know he has an issue with me. You know he like wants to fight me, but he never pulled up. I told him like, what's your address? But he never pulled up, so I don't really care. But I was like, at the end of the day, you know, he really doesn't like me, and you're still sitting here going ahead and texting him, which is not really making any sense. What are you trying to find out if he's gay when I already told you that he already tried to text me, and he already texted me and stuff? So it's not really making sense. It's not really adding up. So that's what it is. But it's still the fact that he was feeling comfortable and he felt obligated to talk to you and laugh at us. That's what's making it seem like, because mind you, Lenny and Martez were best friends. So it's like, but they were best friends before we got into our best friend trio. So it's making it seem like now he's laughing at us. It's making it seem like you're still best friends with him on the low, and then you're still trying to pick and get stuff from me and Kevin to use against us for Lenny. That's what it's making it seem. I'm not saying it's what it is. I'm saying what it seems like. You gotta just assume the worst if things like that do happen. It's not like we're just assuming because things like that do happen. So it's like we don't really know what's gonna go on, and especially for the fact that he doesn't like me nor Kevin, especially me, because the messages came from me, and that's how I know that the messages are true, because how you know they're coming from me if it was a video of me and Kevin. That's how you know you sit here and coming for me. But I don't really care about that boy, but I'm just saying it was a little weird. So we called Martez up one night, and we were just asking him about it, like, why does he feel comfortable talking to you about this stuff and whatever? And he was just like, oh, I was just trying to see if he was gay, this and that. I already told you guys this. I was like, okay, but I already told you, like, he's gay, so why are you trying, not gay, but he texted me or whatever, and you're still trying to go ahead and get messages on him for what, when I could just send you the messages that I already have? So it was never really giving me honesty. It was giving me very much lying, giving me very much trying to be sneaky. So, you know, after that situation, he was sitting there. What's getting me is he was sitting there like, oh, you guys keep accusing me and stuff. He hung up, and he was like, you guys keep accusing me and stuff, this and that. If I have the messages, I'll put everything up on the side. You guys already know how the dealio is. He's just sitting there talking about, let me just push over. He was sitting there talking about, oh, you guys trying to make it seem like I'm trying to be sneaky all the time and this and that, and I don't have time for this. At the end of the day, it's always going to be you and Kevin as a duo, and if I just feel out of place, like even in the mukbang YouTube video, people were adding you and Kevin, saying, because at the end of the day, people are adding me and Kevin in the mukbang video because we have a personality. We sit here and we laugh on social media. I act the same on camera as the way I act the same off camera. I really don't care because I want you guys to see the authentic me. I don't have to sit here and put on a persona for nobody. That's what you do. And it's just like, you were sitting here in the corner, not even joking it up, not laughing, not, oh, hey, can I read a few yellows? You were not doing anything. You were just sitting there eating the food inside my AC. So it was just like, you were just wasting my electricity bill. So it was really not, it was not giving a friend, it was giving just bystander. So I don't know what you're trying to do, but that's, he was just trying to make us feel bad. So, you know, we called him up, whatever. We was like, okay, we told him what it is. We said, at the end of the day, you're our best friend. We're not lying, because if you weren't our best friend, we would have just kicked you out of the group. It's not that serious. Me and Kevin are blunt. If we don't like you, we don't like you. It's not that we're not best friends. And I told him, I was like, it's just the fact that it feels like we rushed into it. And I was just, it was just telling the real deal. Like, it was just weird. At the end of the day, stop being childish. Stop trying to leave. You were leaving the call when we weren't even finished talking. You just want to be right all the time. We were telling you what it is, how we felt, and you should just be like, oh, I'm sorry that you felt this way, but this is what it is, and we could have moved on from the situation. You got to learn how to be the bigger person, because if you don't learn to be the bigger person, you're just not going to get anywhere in life. So we figured out that whole situation, and then here just comes the crazy part. There was this boy that Kevin used to talk to once again. And mind you, I feel like Martez knows not to talk to boys that I used to talk to, because, well, even though mind you, I used to talk to Manny, or not even talk to Manny, I used to flirt with Manny, but that's a different story. I didn't really care if anybody messed with Manny or whatever, but it was like the fact that Kevin's was recent. But like, okay, so once again, Kevin messed with this boy. I don't know if I want to say his name. No, I'm gonna say his name, but I'm not gonna show his Instagram. So Kevin used to flirt, Kevin used to just flirt with this boy, whatever, named Zai. So he's from North Carolina, and mind you, this whole time Martez is talking about, oh, I'm gonna move to Ohio with this boy, and mind you, that boy is 15. Martez is 15. You're gonna move to Ohio, girl. Anyways. He said he was gonna move to Ohio. He was telling us this. This is the sneaky stuff. This is what I'm talking about. So he was like, oh, I'm gonna move to Ohio, this and that, with this boy. So then, you know, mind you, Kevin used to talk to this boy, whatever, this and that. They used to FaceTime, and mind you, we FaceTimed each other. It was me, Kevin, Martez, and Zai all in a FaceTime call. Because Kevin was like, oh, let me just add Zai, whatever. This girl's ex-boyfriend, whatever. I don't know, whatever. So we added to the call, and Kevin was just talking to him, whatever, this and that. And then Kevin left. So then that's when it was just me, Martez, and Zai in the car. And I'm just trying to make sure everybody's keeping it cute. Nobody's really doing anything sneaky. I'm just there. So I'm just like, what's up? Like, hey, I'm Malachi. Like, what's up, Zai? Like, this and that. And then, like, you know, they start talking, whatever. Like, Martez and Zai keep talking. They start talking, whatever, this and that, blah, blah. So then that's when Martez says, he was like, oh, like, we could have like a foursome or something. Like, he said something like that just to say it to Zai. And Zai was like, oh, so what's the word? I was like, who's for? Who's for? You could have a 3, and Kevin's not doing that, because Kevin, we're young, and we really not about to be out here doing that. Like, that's weird. Like, nobody's about to be doing that. You could have a twosome, sex with him by yourself, and if you want to be grimy like that, I'm not like that type of person. So if you want to go be dirty by yourself. So I was like, I'm not doing that. So I left the call, whatever, and I called Kevin up. So then I didn't tell Kevin, because Kevin said that he didn't care about the boy. So I was like, oh, I don't know what's going on. I didn't know anything really about Kevin and the boy until Kevin told me after. So I was just whatever. So I told Kevin a few days later. So basically this is where it all gets just crazy. So then Martez, one night we were all in a call. So it's a different situation too. It's another situation. So we were all on the phone, and Martez was like, Martez is always on the phone with another boy, but it's not, mind you, it's not boys from our state, because he can't pull nobody from our state. It's from boys from different states, whatever. So he was on the phone with a boy. He was like, I'm on the phone with a boy. And then, mind you, Martez never told us what DL boys or what boys he used to mess with. He would always just keep it on the low. So that's when I would tell Kevin, like, it seems kind of weird. Like, and then Kevin was like, oh, what boy you messing with? And he would just be quiet. Like, he wouldn't say anything. And then, like, what DL boys you messing with? What DL boys you messing with? He would say over and over and over. He said like 5 times. So then that's when he hung up, Kevin hung up, I hung up, Martez hung up. So that's Martez starts texting in the group chat, this and that, and I'm like, you could text, but you can't hear. Like, it's just making no sense. So I'm like, Kevin, I call Kevin up. I'm like, Kevin, it seems kind of weird, like, that he's not telling us what boys he messed with, because it's probably boys that we used to mess with. And mind you, we told everybody that I didn't tell everybody, but we told almost every boy that we used to mess with. And it's like, now it seems like you know that they're DL or whatever, so it's gonna make it seem like you're gonna go mess with them. So it was giving just really sneaky vibes. I was just like, okay, whatever. It just seems kind of weird. So then this is when the real situation comes up. I'm not gonna put the whole thing because it was literally an essay. It was a whole book. He wrote us a whole 400-page essay, and this was the messages. Y'all can pause and read it. I'm gonna cut it up so y'all can see it. This was the message. That was the message, and he sat there and said, oh, I messed with this boy named Zai, and I wasn't actually going to Ohio. I was actually gonna go move to North Carolina to go with this boy, whatever, and this and that. We've been talking for, he said we've been talking for like a week or something. I don't know, a couple days or something. He said that they knew each other for about 3 weeks, but they started dating about 5 days ago. Today, 5 days ago, but the time, it was 2 days ago or 1 day ago. So they started dating. So they knew each other, but they weren't really talking because they weren't talking. They were only talking for like a week, knew each other for 3, and were dating for like 2 days at the time. So, that's when they're talking about moving in, and mind you, they're both 15. So like, what are you talking about? Like, it's just was sounding so crazy. And mind you, Martez was talking about, oh, I want to move to Ohio. Before that message, he was like, I want to move to Ohio. This and that. I need to get $25,000 to get emancipated, because he said I need $10,000 to get emancipated, and then he needs to get $25,000 just to make sure that he makes sure that he has a house, has all that stuff. I was like, that's not gonna last you. I promise you, especially at 15 and you can't even get a job. It's not gonna last you. And mind you, even at that, you can't get a house, you can't get nothing, because if he wants to get emancipated to move to Ohio for a boy, and mind you, we think it's Ohio, but it's actually North Carolina, so it's just kind of seeming kind of sneaky at this point. I said, and I told him, I said, it's kind of irresponsible of you to think that you're gonna get a house, you're gonna get transportation. If you can't get it, you probably can't even get a car, so you're probably gonna get transportation, Ubers every day, bus every day, and you have to buy food, furniture, all this stuff, and you think that you're gonna live off that, off 25 grand, and you can't even get a job yet, because mind you, you're 15, or you're gonna be emancipated at 16 years old, and you can get a job then, but it's still not gonna be enough to support you. You're gonna need help, and you have a 15-year-old, 16-year-old boyfriend that you think that's gonna help you. I said, it's irresponsible. I said, when you get a job at 16 next year, you know, start saving up until you turn 18, then 19, you can start buying a house out there, then still get your money up, and then by 20, you'll be able to support yourself financially out there, whatever. And I was just giving him ideas. Or I said, you could buy a house here, and you could tell your boyfriend to come here, so when he comes here, he has a place to live, and it's because he doesn't have one out there, or vice versa. I was like, you have to really think about this, and you just want to get $25,000 thinking, I'm about to go out in the world, and it's going to be easy, because it's not going to be that easy. So mind you, me and Kevin are giving him advice back to back to back to back, and he's taking like, oh yes, you guys are right, I'm gonna wait, I'm just gonna get a job, and this time he's taking our advice. So mind you, all this advice that we're giving him is actually going to him being sneaky behind our back, messing with someone that Kevin used to mess with. So we're sitting here thinking, you're going to Ohio, we're sitting here, we were like, we're gonna help you, trying to get the funds, you know, we're gonna try to help you, even if it's $500 from each of us, that's still $1,000 that can go towards that 25 grand. We're still gonna try to help you get the money that you need to get, but then you're sitting here still being sneaky, saying you're moving to Ohio when you're actually going to North Carolina to mess with a boy that Kevin used to mess with. You guys see what I'm talking about? That's weird and that's sneaky, and then he had the audacity to blame us for making up scenarios when all the scenarios that we made up led up to this point to actually be true. So I got all that out the way. So he told us. My dumb self, Kevin got mad at me because I saw that message and then I hearted it, because I didn't really read it. Because I read it out loud to Kevin, because Kevin was like, oh, read it out loud, because he didn't want to read it. So I was like, I'll read it out loud. And I was reading, but when I read out loud, I don't really hear it. So I just hearted the message. Then Kevin hung up the phone because we were on the phone. I was like, what are you hanging up the phone for? He was like, did you not read the message? I was like, I didn't. Then he called me back, and he was like, oh, he missed some of the boy that I used to miss with this and that, da, da, da. And mind you, Kevin's not pressed. He's mad at Martez's actions, because it's like, if you could sit there and do it with a boy that Kevin used to mess with, how we know you're not doing it with all the deal was that we messed with? Because mind you, Martez never pulled anyone in his state. He pulled two or three boys, and mind you, none of them keep in contact with him. Most of the boys that I mess with keep in contact with me, same with Kevin. So it's like, we pull boys in our states, and you have not pulled any. So it makes it seem like it's desperation. So if you're sitting here messing with boys that Kevin used to mess with, it's gonna make it seem like you're messing with everybody in our state. That's what caused Kevin to get mad, because we don't know what's really going on or what's going on behind the scenes. So then that's when Kevin's telling me like, it's weird after all that accusing of him and stuff, and he just wanted to sit there and play victim, this and that. Mind you, all the messages were there. He wanted to play victim, saying that it's only the duo, this and that. It's always gonna be just the duo, the two of you guys. I just felt like he wanted an excuse to leave the trio. It just made everything make sense. And mind you, before even all this happened, Kevin, me, and Zai called each other. We were all on the phone, and then it was just Kevin and Zai, and then Martez, and then Kevin told me. So Kevin and Zai were on the phone, I guess, and then Zai was like, "Oh, someone told me about you," and then Kevin was like, "Who is it? Is it somebody in my state?" And he was like, "Don't worry about it," and this and that, and he was like, "Oh, mind you, it was just nothing bad." So obviously now Kevin told me that, so now it's all lining up. It's like the person that told him about you was Martez. So it's just like you were doing all this sneaky stuff, especially talking about us, not in a bad way, mind you, it wasn't in a bad way, but you're sitting here talking about us to a boy that Kevin that used to mess with. It's just so grimy, because we wouldn't ever do that to Martez. Because if that's the case, then I could pop up to Foot Locker and be like, "What's good, Jonathan?" I could pop up to different schools and be like, "What's up?" This and that. I don't care. I will do it to whoever I want to. But at the end of the day, it's the fact of loyalty. I wouldn't do that to you because that's someone who used to mess with. Same, and even if it was, I would still sit here and ask, or not even ask, let you know, because all you have to do is just let us know in advance, so it will make it look like you're being sneaky, and especially that you're hiding. I told, even after the Manny situation, like I explained to you guys, I said, we told Martez, we said, "Martez, all you have to do is just let us know. Let us know. We don't care about boys. We really don't care. We're not mad over the boy or the fact that he was going behind our back." Yeah, we were mad at the fact that he was going behind our back, but we weren't mad at the fact that he was going behind our back messing with the boy. It was the fact of his actions. So we were sitting here like, we don't know who else they're going to be doing it with, and you could just sit here and be grimy like that. So then that's when we made a group FaceTime call. We made a group FaceTime call with his other two best friends. It's one best friend because Jade is his best friend by her sister. So it was Jade, Catherine, me, Kevin, Martez, and Zai. So it was all 6 of us. So we were all on a call, whatever, and we were sitting here like, "Oh, you're weird for that." We're just arguing back and forth from this and that. And we're trying to get our points across. So we're just trying to get our points across, like, "You're weird for that, this and that, you're messing with somebody." And then, mind you, Martez is making up fake scenarios. He's talking about, "Oh, when he was on the phone with Chai, he was on the phone with me as well, this and that, da. And he's just trying to be grimy. And we're not doing anything. We're just trying to make it, we're just trying to get his point across. And mind you, if Kevin wants to get mad, Kevin can get mad, because at the end of the day, you're supposed to be his best friend. Your actions are, now you're trying to act all big and bad in front of a boy that probably is not going to be there for you in a couple weeks, a couple months. So it's just like, it's not really making sense. So we were sitting here saying, you're trying to put on a different persona for other people, and we were just letting him know like how we felt, and he was just not getting it. He was like, "This and that." Okay, but Kevin's giving me attitude. Kevin can give you an attitude at the end of the day. He's part of the situation, and you did it to him, so he has all right to be mad. Just like when Javon did the same exact thing to me, I was sitting there like, I could yell at Javon, and that's the thing I respect about Javon. Javon, at the end of the day, he was like, "I understand you're mad, and I take all responsibility for it." He was like, "At the end of the day, I know I did you wrong, and you can yell all you want, because at the end of the day, I deserve this." Okay, yes, you know you deserve it, and that just shows the maturity that Javon got. So it's like, now you're trying to sit here and say, "Nah, but y'all wrong. Y'all always accuse me of stuff," because we accuse you of stuff, and look what happened. We turned out to be right. Just like when we accuse of anybody else of anything, it turns out to be right. So it's like, we're not just bugging for anything. There's obviously evidence to lead up to it, and then it led up to it, and then we're just right once again. So it was giving very much stealthy. It was giving very much lying vibes. So we're arguing whatever, and Kevin's being petty. Kevin's just arguing this and that. So then that's when Martez was like, "Oh, he wants to fight Kevin." So then that's when Kevin's like, "I'm not about to fight over no boy." Like Kevin, he fights whatever, but Kevin is the type to fight over a real reason. Kevin's not about to sit here and fight over no boy that both of you guys haven't met. Kevin was just flirting with the boy before. It was nothing serious. He's not about to fight no boy from North Carolina that's miles away. If you want to do that and you want to act ghetto and you want to act childish over that, then you can go ahead and do that. But Kevin's the type to not do that. Kevin fights over real reasons. Kevin only fight when somebody put their hands on him. That's the only reason that Kevin's gonna do it. He's not about to sit here and beef with nobody for free. That's just Kevin, period. And that's why I'm saying, mind you, Kevin's not even coming crazy. It's me. I'm sitting here like, this and that. Okay, Martez, I said, because mind you, I would be the like peacemaker of the group. When Martez and Kevin will get into it, or whenever some tensions in the group, I will always be like, "Guys, I love you guys so much. Like, you guys got this. Like, it's just some whack stuff that's going on. Like, you guys will get over this. Like, it's not that serious. Like, just get over it. Like, get over your feelings. Tighten up for real. Just tighten up, and we'll get over it." So like, I will always be the peacemaker of the group. And now it's like, when I sat there and said like, it's really over, it's like really over. And I'm really mad, because at the end of the day, I try to defend you so much, Martez, and he had the audacity to sit there and do it to my best friend. And I'm saying like, now you really done, like, now you really got the wrong one. So I was sitting there arguing with him. I was arguing with him. And mind you, he's not saying he wants to fight me. And he's just sitting there saying he wants to fight Kevin. I'm just like, okay, but you're sitting here. He just said he doesn't want to fight, and you obviously have an issue with Kevin, but I have an issue with you too because you're sitting here. It's the lying and all the games. Like, I don't have time for the childish stuff. We're growing up. I'm about to get a job. Like, I'm about to be 16 in 9 days. Like, I'm about to be 16 in 9 days, and I really don't got time for it. I'm about to get my permit. I'm about to get my car. These YouTube videos are about to get a lot more interesting. I'm gonna be traveling. Like, I have so much more stuff to do in life than just be fighting with petty little boys. And that's what he wanted to do with Kevin. I was like, okay, that's not what you're not about. That's not what you're not about to do. I don't have time for it, and it's time to just grow up and just take responsibility for your actions and just get over yourself. Stop being a little child arguing over a boy. Like, you really just lost your best friends. And mind you, I'm telling Jade this and this and that. I'm like, Jade, if he could do this to his best friends, because mind you, he wasn't even really talking to Jade that often because he was best friends with us. So once he became best friends with us, he wasn't really talking to Jade. So I'm like, Jade, okay, but mind you, what if your first love, whatever, if he was sitting here, he probably messing with him behind your back. You don't know what's going on. At the end of the day, you have to, and Jade is like, you're right, like you're in the wrong. And mind you, me and Kevin are getting mad. Before even that, we were Kevin was like, I know you guys are gonna take his side, and they were like, no, I actually take y'all's because y'all are actually in the right. I think your best friend said that we're in the right, and then we're in the right, and then your boyfriend, the one that you're fighting over, said we're in the right, you're in the wrong, and you still can't even accept the fact that you're wrong. So then that's when we taught everything Martez needs to know. We taught him how to bag a boy. We taught him how to tighten up. We taught him how to argue. So we were like, okay, if he really wants to act like that, then we have to give him a taste of his own medicine. So then that's when we just start arguing. It's not really getting nowhere, and he wants to fight Kevin still. And I said, if you fight Kevin, then you're fighting me. I don't got time for it. Kevin said that he obviously does not want to fight. He does not fight for free. He's not about to fight over no boy that none of you guys have met. So I said, if you're gonna fight Kevin, you're gonna fight me, period. So we moved on, whatever. So then that's when Kevin added me to a call with Zai. You know, I'm like, Kevin, I can say, Kevin, let's do a little thing. So then that's when Zai showed us his other phone, and he wasn't on the phone with Martez. He was just on the phone with us. It was just us three. So then that's when we're like, oh, you little boy, like we're flirting. So then that's when he's like, who's the little boy? So then he sends us, obviously you guys already know what it is. So then we're like, okay, that just shows that even after he got like caught messing with, flirting with, he got caught up, period, in both Martez and Zai. He still doesn't even show loyalty after that. So it's like, okay, so then we screen recorded and we showed Martez. We're like, Martez, look, you look stupid. Now you just lost your best friends and you're still arguing over a boy that doesn't even care about you. He said, and mind you, he didn't just send it to Kevin, he sent it to Kevin and me. So it's like, he didn't even care. He didn't even have enough respect for you to just, he just really doesn't care. And it's like, you already sitting here saying I love you, this and that, and it just makes no sense because you really just lost your best friends over a boy that does not even care about you or does not even have enough respect for you. So then we send that to him, and then he sit there and mind you, Zai, we're still on the phone with Zai. So then Martez calls him, or he calls Martez, and this and that. And Martez's like, oh, are you serious? Now you did this to me, this and that. And mind you, we're hearing all this, but then he's still on the phone with us while he's on the phone with you. So it's like now you just look stupid, and we didn't do it to hurt his feelings. We didn't do it to be petty. We just did it to teach him a lesson. We did it to, like, everything that we do, we don't do it to hurt people. We do it to teach you a lesson. Because at the end of the day, you can't treat good people, because mind you, we were good to Martez. No matter if we didn't want to be his best friend and we just wanted to be friends for now, at the end of the day, we still treated him good. We still bought him Uber's places if he couldn't go somewhere. We still bought him food. We still bought him whatever we needed to buy. We always helped each other out, and we'd never down him or nothing. There would be times that Kevin, mind you, because Kevin was more famous on Instagram, because Kevin, mind you, Instagram followers and TikTok followers are two different platforms. TikTok is so much easier to grow on, and Instagram is harder. So like 39K, which is what Kevin had on Instagram, is like equivalent to like 200K on TikTok. So, you know, like whatever, like Kevin would be like, because he's trying to get on TikTok so he could promote all his Instagram. So he's trying to get into it. You know, it's not really his thing. YouTube's more of his thing, and he's just trying to get into it. So that's when he'd be like, oh, I got my first 10K views on TikTok. And mind you, we all start somewhere. I got my first 10K. I was happy. I was excited when I had my 900 followers. And, you know, Kevin was like, I got my first 10K. And then Martez would be like, oh, my video just hit 900K. Why do you have to sit there and down someone's? You never make someone feel stupid for their accomplishments. You always congratulate them. You always make them feel good about what they're doing. And that's not what Martez did. He will always be the type to brag about his clout to us, or just brag about his clout in general. At the end of the day, I have more followers than both of them. I have more subscribers than both of them. I have, on Instagram, they have more than me, but it's still the fact that I would never do that to him, because I would never bash someone's accomplishments. At the end of the day, I don't care if I had 1 million on Instagram, 1 million on TikTok, 1 million on YouTube. At the end of the day, and you only had 1,000. At the end of the day, I'm gonna help you grow. I'll shout you out as much as possible, so I can get you that 1,000. I can get you that extra views to get paid. I will do whatever I gotta do to help you. You never bash someone. You never bash someone's goals. You never bash someone's drive to succeed. You never do that to someone. And that's what he will always do to Kevin. He will always put him down. He can't do it to me because I'm succeeding, and Kevin is succeeding as well, which is kind of the messed up thing, because Kevin had worked so hard for 39K, and on Instagram, Martez had like 66K or 69K, and but his page died. So Kevin's was way more active than Martez. So it was like, it doesn't matter who had more followers, it's more about relevance. So he would sit there and still bash Kevin about this, like, oh, that's why you only got 5,000 followers on TikTok. Listen, who cares? Kevin's still doing good. Kevin got 3K on his YouTube, his first YouTube video that he just posted. He's doing fantastic, and mind you, YouTube views are hard to get. So it's like, that was really good for the first time. He promoted the heck out of it, and I'm so proud of him, and I couldn't be more proud of him today. Back in the day, Martez will always be the type to make himself feel like he's above everybody when he's not. Like, oh, this and that. Like, I got this many views. I got this. At the end of the day, it's not about views. And Martez will delete his posts that aren't doing so good on TikTok, which just shows that he's in it for the views. He's in it for the money. He's in it for all that. He's in it for the greed. He's in it for the fame. That's not what you're supposed to be in it for. You're supposed to be in it to make people laugh. You're supposed to be in it to fill people in. You're supposed to have a connection with your fan base, not just post to post. And that's why I post when I post probably every 2 weeks. As you guys see, it says 2 weeks a month. I post every 2 weeks because I rather post quantity over quality. I don't want to post every week or every day and y'all only get like me putting on my outfit. Bye, y'all. Like, no, I'd rather fill y'all guys in what's happening in my life, and I want you guys to know what it is and provide good content for you guys. I know it's gonna get a lot of views, and I know that it's gonna attract a bigger audience so they could join the family. I have a connection with my fan base, and that's what he does not do. He sat there and scammed his followers, like on his old account that he gave away, whatever. Finally, that he would be like, oh, I'm selling my account, and then people would be like, okay, I want to buy it, and he would be like, for $80. People would send him the money, and then he wouldn't get in the account. So you're scamming people, you're scamming your supporters for $80 each time. So that, mind you, $80 is not a cheap amount of money. You scam 10 supporters, you just made what? $800? Or I don't know how much that is, girl. I think that's $800. I think so. I don't know. You scam 10 people, you making money, you making money. So it's like that's kind of grimy. Like that's you shouldn't do that to supporters, especially the people that sat there and hyped you up on your post all day. You don't do that to your supporters. So mind you, let's just get past all that. At the end of the day, he'll bash people about followers and this and that, but nobody cares about that. So then that's when, let's be past it, whatever, we start arguing. So we just show him the messages between us and his boyfriend and this and that, what's going on. He's still going, he's still trying to defend his boyfriend. He's still going. And that's when we're like, okay, I'm not about to argue with nobody that's doing stupid stuff. So then that's when he's like, oh, Malachi, I will get Tamiko on you. And mind you, Tamiko is his cousin, but mind you, I'll put on Tamiko's page. Tamiko don't even follow him. So it's like, okay, I mean, if you want to claim that, go ahead. But he said he's going to get Tamiko on me. And mind you, Tamiko is 18 years old. And if you guys don't know, I am 15 years old, and I'm going to be turning 16 in 9 days. So it's like, that doesn't really make sense. Like, at the end of the day, just because I'm taller than you, because Kevin is like about 5'4" and I'm like 5'11". So it's like, it just, at the end of the day, and Martez is around there. Martez is like 5'5". He's like 5'5", 5'6". So it's like, it's just not, just because he's taller than me, you're gonna get someone that's taller than me, taller and older than on me. At the end of the day, you don't let nobody stand in your way. If someone's arguing with you or someone's beefing with you, fight whoever. And it doesn't matter. At the end of the day, you don't get no adult on me because that's a whole adult. So it's just like, it really isn't making any sense. So he said that, and he was like, okay, so I was like, I'll get these people, and then I was like, I will get this other person. I'm not gonna say who. And then he was like, oh, but weren't you talking about that person? And then I added this person to the call with some of Kevin's bros, one of Kevin's bros, and then I added the person in the call, and he was like, oh, Malachi was saying this and that, and I proved that it was a lie. And he was just going on and on and on, trying to make up lies, trying to get people to turn against me, and it was just really giving very much desperate vibes. Like, he lost us, and it was like, now he's just trying to look for a reason for everybody, like, for us to lose everybody. Just because you're going down because of your actions, it wasn't because of anybody else's. That you don't take other people down with you. You did it yourself, you did it to yourself, and we never did anything to you. And I had posted a quote on my story, and mind you, after all this, even before the call with these two people, I was like, I posted on my story, I was like, I'm gonna be coming out with a YouTube video about it. So that's when one of the person that he said that I was telling the lies about, I was saying the stuff about, they were like, make sure that you guys don't post something on social media, this and that. And that's why I didn't bring it to social media for a quick hot minute. And mind you, this happened about 4 days ago. So I was like, I'm not gonna bring it to social media. And that's when he was posting on his story. So he was like, oh, yeah, I thought I gave that freak about that trio. This and that. I don't ask about the trio in his TikTok comments when nobody even commented about it. And he was just saying all this stuff still going on social media. Like, oh, I don't care if I beef with anybody. I still walk around freely, posting it on his story. And mind you, after that person on the call told us not to post anything on social media, I deleted my post. So it was about an hour and only like 500 people saw it. So it wasn't that much because it was really late at night, so not a lot of people saw it. So I deleted it real quick, and mind you, I got a lot of views. So it's like not a lot of people saw it compared to what I usually get. So it's like you were really just, now you're trying to sit here and go after this and not to. So then that's the reason that I brought it to social media. I didn't bring it to social media for clout, or I didn't bring it to social media for attention or nothing. I brought it to social media to clarify, because I don't want you guys to be like, oh, what happened to Martez? Did you guys replace this boy? Did you guys replace? I didn't want you guys to think that. I want you guys to know the real scoop in what he does. So I want to let you guys know, or his supporters that follow him, if you want to buy an account from him, don't buy an account from him. He will scam you. If you want to become friends with Martez, I'm not doing it to ruin his reputation. I'm doing it to let you guys know, because I don't want nobody else to get hurt. I don't want you guys going around you like, oh, Martez seems like a cool person in the group with Malika before they kicked him out. And I don't want you guys having a bad perception on me, like, oh, they just kicked them out of the group. They think they're better than her. I don't think I'm better than nobody personally. I don't care. I think everybody's beautiful. I don't like when people body shame. I don't like when people bully, because I got bullied. I don't like none of that stuff. So it's like, we didn't kick him out of the group just for nothing. It was for a valid reason. He really just sat there and did us grimy. But yes, guys, I just want you guys to know, if you are friends with Martez, or you want to become friends with Martez, just be careful. I don't want you guys getting hurt. I don't want you guys getting done dirty. It's just really, he didn't benefit nothing to the group. And at the end of the day, me and Kevin will be successful, and we are successful. So we have nothing to worry about. So I just want to let you guys know that, and why the trio broke up. But I have more videos coming soon. Me and Kevin are supposed to be doing a little MIXY story time about, you know, he had a child and everything. We got some story times coming up for you guys. But that's the end of the video. Thank you guys so much for watching my social medias, and I'll even put Kevin's YouTube and Kevin's social medias. They'll be right here. This is Instagram, and this is his Snapchat, and this is also his TikTok. So if you want to go ahead and follow him, go make sure you do that. But my social medias and Kevin's social medias will be linked in the description down below. As always, if you want to contact me, because I respond to my fans. And thank you guys so much for watching. Peace.